What's going on, you guys? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking Winter Classic logos. I feel like it would be really fun to go through and rank some Winter Classic logos since we have the Winter Classic coming up today. My whole plan is to upload this on Winter Classic Day, so the 1st of January. So hopefully that is the case, because that's my whole plan. I figure everyone always ranks Winter Classic jerseys, so why not go ahead and rank some Winter Classic logos? There's actually some that are very similar to what the teams currently use now, and there's also some logos that are just very similar with each other. So we'll try our best to rank these. I did actually make this tier list myself, so if you guys would like to give this tier list a try, I will have a link in the top of the description. You guys can go over and submit your own ranking. I plan on kind of reacting to your guys' rankings maybe towards the middle half of this week. So if you guys would like that, then do the tier list, send me a screenshot over on Instagram, and I'll throw it up in a reaction video. But with that said, also, Happy New Year's, you guys, and let's get into it. So we got the tier list up on the screen here. Like I said, there's going to be some logos that are very similar to other logos, so it's going to be kind of tough to rank. But for the most part, this should be pretty straightforward. I haven't done any thought at all into this. I think the kind of only theory I'm going to go into this is, does it work good for Winter Classic, for one? Obviously, if I like the logo, for two? And if it's similar to what they currently use, I'm kind of giving that some negative points, because I feel like you got to use something retro and kind of something creative, and not just something you currently use. So I'm going to be throwing that in there as well. So it's in order from team names. So we got Boston at the first, Washington last. We're just going to go in order here. And we got the 2010 Boston Bruins logo. Now this is the logo that they've also used on their alternate jersey this year. I love this thing. I should also specify that I just have the tiers going in winter just for fun, but really at the top is the best, at the bottom is the worst. This Boston Bruins one, I'm going to throw that in top tier. I really like this Boston Bruins logo. For some reason, just the off-white with the brown and the yellow, and the way the B is, it's just not an ordinary B. I really like this thing. Next up, we got the 2016 Boston Bruins Winter Classic logo, and I think this thing's kind of middle of the pack. I think I'm gonna throw it in T, which is like kind of middle pack here. I'm not like a super big fan of it. Don't love it, don't hate it. Then we got the 2019 Boston Bruins logo, and it's just the B. I'm not particularly a huge fan of this one. I think I will throw it in R there. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think it is kind of boring. There's obviously not a lot to it. It's just a B logo. Some people like it. I'm personally not the biggest a fan of it, not because it like looks bad, because it is an okay looking B letter, but it's just boring. Then we have the 2023 Boston Bruins logo. In this thing, I kind of want to throw in E. I just don't like this thing that much. I think the text and the meth bear, it's just too much going on there, and I don't know, something about this thing I'm not a huge fan of. I didn't really like the jersey as well, so maybe that paired with it kind of just, I'm just not a fan. Next up, we got a 2008 Buffalo Sabres logo. This thing is essentially just the regular home logo, so I'm throwing that in the bottom tier there. Anything that's just like the same logo that they use, that thing deserves to be at the bottom, because that's just boring in my opinion. Next up, we got the Buffalo Sabres one from 2018. Again, it's pretty much their regular home jersey. It does just have New York in the logo, but I will throw it in E because of that, because it is slightly different, but it's pretty much the same logo. Next up, we got the first of 4 Chicago Blackhawks logos, and this is the one from 2009, and I'm going to throw this in N. I actually really like this Chicago Blackhawks logo. This is the one I believe they used on their, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Reverse Retro one? Maybe, I could be wrong, but it's the circle one with Chicago and or Blackhawks, and then Chicago, and then it's got the face in the middle. I actually quite like this logo. It feels very retro-y. The next one we got is just the regular Chicago Blackhawks logo. That one's going down in the bottom tier. Like I said, anything that's just a regular logo gets thrown down there. Then we got the 2017 Chicago Blackhawks logo. I'm going to throw this one in T. I don't particularly like this one as much. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle of the pack. It's not something I love. And it's just like for Winter Classic, obviously it works. If it didn't have that Winter Classic vibe to it, it probably would be down in R. But because it's got that Winter Classic vibe, I'll throw it there. And then this Chicago Blackhawks logo is probably my favorite. This is from the 2019 Winter Classic. I'm going to throw that in top tier. I love this thing so much. Just the black and white logo. The way the logo looks in black and white, I just think it looks so good. I love that thing. Next up, we got the Dallas Stars from the 2020 Winter Classic. I'm throwing this up here in the second tier. I really like this Dallas Stars logo. It's very simple, very clean, very effective. Logo standalone isn't super Winter Classic-y, which is why I don't have it in the top tier. I knocked it down a peg because of that. But with the jersey itself, it did look very Winter Classic-y. Next up, we got the Detroit Red Wings D, and this is from the 2009 Winter Classic, and I actually really like this thing. I am going to put this in the N one here, the third category here. I really like that Detroit D. I think it's a very cool font, very cool logo, and it fits Detroit very well. Next up we have here is what actually probably my favorite Detroit Red Wings logo. This is from the 2014 Winter Classic, and I'm going to throw this in the second tier here. I really like this. I think if it was the logo by itself without the word Detroit, it would be up in that top tier. I'm somebody who loves text logos, but I think the text above the logo there kind of takes away from how cool that Detroit Red Wings logo is. I love that Red Wings logo there a lot more than what they currently use. It's just a little bit skinnier. I just really like it, and with the off-white, it looks so good. Next up, we have kind of probably a very unpopular opinion. We got the Minnesota Wild, and I'm going to throw that in that N tier there, the kind of middle of the pack. I kind of like this thing. It's got text, it's got kind of logo vibes, it's kind of all over the place and interesting and unique, and it does feel very Winter Classic-y. It's a logo that has grown on me a lot. When I first saw it, I was definitely, like everyone else, I was thinking, what the heck is this? But as we got to see it more and more, I like it. Next, we got the Montreal Canadiens. I like this thing as well. I think I'm going to put this in the I category. I do really like it. It's interesting that the H of the C is H of the logo, I should say, is blue, and then the C is white. That's very interesting. The C being white doesn't even have a blue outline or anything. It's just straight one color. It's just straight white, which is also very interesting. I do think it looks good. Next up, the Nashville Predators logo from 2020. Now, I don't know where to put this because I like this thing. I think I'm going to throw it in N. I really do like that logo a lot. I think it's a really nice Nashville Predators logo. I think it's one that should be on one of their jerseys for sure. I think it looks so good. Put it on an alternate or something. Okay, next up, the New York Rangers. This is from their 2012 Winter Classic. I think I'm going to throw this up in W. I really, really like that logo. I think that logo is super clean, very, very nice. Then next up, we got the New York Rangers text. This one is from the 2018 Winter Classic, and it's the one that had Rangers, the Adidas one that also has the patch up here. Everyone loves that thing. As a logo itself, it's very mid. I am going to throw it in T category there. It is a very mid logo. I do think it's nice, and it's like spelt nice. The font is very nice for Rangers, but again, all of these have pretty cool logos. So to them to just keep their Rangers is just kind of mid, especially after seeing what they did in the other Winter Classic, the one we have up at the top. There's definitely just more potential, but the jersey, don't even get me started on the jersey that came out that year because that thing is phenomenal. Both Philadelphia logos I am going to throw in the R category. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll put one up in E, kind of like Buffalo. So one is just their straight logo with white and orange and their regular colors, and then the other one has off-white and orange. So it's slightly different. I will throw it up in an extra tier above because it has that off-white, so it feels Winter Classic-y, so I'll give it some points for that. But otherwise, they're both just regular logos. Next up, we got this Pittsburgh Penguins logo here from the 2008 Winter Classic. I'm going to throw this up in I. I do really like this logo quite a bit. I think it's really nice. I like the dark blue. I also love that it mixes kind of two teams there, two eras, you should say, with the dark blue and then the light blue, as well as just keeping that yellow in there on the logo, that pop of yellow. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins logo from their 2011 Winter Classic. This thing's going up in W. I love this logo so much. The off-white, the blue, the fact they threw a scarf on the penguin is just insanely awesome. That thing is perfect. Then next up, we got the 2023 Pittsburgh Penguins logo. I'm going to throw this in T. I actually don't mind this thing. A lot of people didn't really seem to like it when it came out, but I'm going to throw it in there. I think that's a fair position for it, much like the Rangers. It's just kind of an okay letter logo, so I think it definitely fits well in that T category. The jersey overall, though, I love that Pittsburgh Penguins Winter Classic jersey. I wish I had it. The Seattle Kraken, this one's from this year. I'm throwing this in W. This thing is absolutely perfection. I love it so much. There's not much to say about it. It's perfect. These St. Louis Blues logos, I'm going to put them both together because they're essentially the same logo. One was just on an away and one was on an I guess a home jersey, but now is their alternate. One was on this one was on the blue one. So I'm going to keep them together, but they definitely deserve to go up in W. I think that logo is perfect. Like, I would be okay if the St. Louis Blues switch their logo back to that. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I really like this logo. This is from the 2014 Winter Classic. I'm going to throw this up an I. I actually really like this Toronto Maple Leafs logo. It's maybe not as classic and as simple as what they currently use, especially with all the wave kind of in the maple leaf pattern, but I really like it. I think it's more modern, which is funny because it's an older logo, and I just think it's got more life to it. This Vegas Golden Knights, I am going to throw an E. I'm not going to put it down in R where it probably should be, but I will throw it in E because I don't like the logo, but the design inside of it with the gold is very cool. Next up, we got the Washington Capitals. This is from the 2011 Winter Classic. I think I'm going to put this in N, maybe. I think N is a fair spot for this. I do think it's quite a nice logo. It's taking their Capitals logo right now that they have, which I don't like, but for some reason adding the stars above it, just give it a little bit of life, and I think it makes it look a little better. And then we got the Washington Capitals logo from the 2015. I'm going to throw this in I. That might be a bit of a hot take to some people, but I actually really like this logo for some reason. It's very simple, very clean, and just very Washington Capitals, even though it's so different from anything Washington Capitals. Just the simple W, 3 stars above it, and then Capitals in front of it. It's super classy. That's what I think is the word I want to say. It looks very professional, very classy, and I like it a lot. So there you guys have it. That is my ranking for Winter Classic logos. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, I just went into this without planning or anything. I just totally wung it. So again, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I could probably do this tier list a few months later and it will be different. And heck, maybe I'll do that just to compare and have some fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year once again. Subscribe, like the video if you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.